Machinists are among many workers who risk exposure to asbestos in the course of doing their jobs. In addition to its well-known use as a fire retardant and heat insulator, asbestos was also used in the production of valves, boiler and pipe insulation, ductwork, and high-temperature gaskets. It was included as a reinforcing or binding agent in plastics and cement as well, and as such was used in building materials including plaster, drywall materials, floor tiles, and roofing products, as well as insulation. Asbestos exposure can cause disabling or fatal diseases such as asbestosis, lung cancer, gastrointestinal cancer, and mesothelioma, a form of cancer that affects the membranes covering the lungs and body organs. Millwrights are responsible for installing, repairing, replacing, and dismantling machinery and heavy equipment. About half work in manufacturing industries, with another third working for construction builders and contractors. Both of these work environments have been the source of much asbestos exposure. For example, millwrights who install and maintain turbines and power plants may be exposed to the turbine's insulation, which in the past often contained asbestos. Millwrights working in construction face similar dangers since historically asbestos was most often used in construction, and nearly 70% of asbestos produced now is used in that industry. From 1990 to 1999, the most frequently listed industry recorded on U.S. death certificates of asbestosis victims aged 15 and older was the construction industry, with 24% of death certificates listing construction. Likewise, a large number of mesothelioma victims work or worked in construction industry. A 1995 study in Britain similarly found construction workers to be at the greatest risk of contracting mesothelioma. When placing machines requires building a new foundation, millwrights sometimes prepare the foundation themselves. Sometimes they only supervise the foundation's construction. In either case, they work around cement products, which in the past were often reinforced with asbestos. When assembling machinery, millwrights work with bearings, gears, wheels, motors, and the like, which again in the past may have been made with asbestos. Because millwrights work with tools such as cutting torches, welding machines, lathes, and grinding machines, they may be exposed to asbestos dust if those tools do not have filtration systems or if the millwrights had not been provided with appropriate protective equipment. Even if millwrights don't work directly with asbestos-containing materials, they may still be at risk if the workplace has asbestos contamination. One clinical field survey examined 110 millwright and machinery erectors from the New York City area. 49 of the workers had pleural abnormalities consistent with asbestos exposure. 18 showed signs of pleural thickening. 13 workers had chest x-rays indicating interstitial lung disease. After accounting for tobacco use, the study found a correlation between length of employment as a millwright and pleural abnormalities, suggesting that even millwrights who are subject to indirect exposure to airborne asbestos dust are at risk for developing asbestos-related diseases. In 2001, a former millwright and his wife were awarded more than $1.5 million by a Seattle jury, who ruled that the products manufactured by the defendant were not reasonably safe, that the defendant did not adequately warn the plaintiff about the asbestos hazards, and that the defendant's negligence caused the plaintiff's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, colon cancer, and asbestosis. The plaintiff had worked as a millwright from 1947 to 1989, during which time he was extensively exposed to the asbestos-containing insulation that had been sprayed onto the machines he repaired and maintained. Diseases associated with asbestos exposure generally do not appear for 20 or more years after initial exposure. So even people who haven't worked as a millwright in many years may still be at risk for developing mesothelioma or another asbestos-related disease. Such workers are urged to discuss their possible asbestos exposure with their doctor and to receive regular checkups for any signs of asbestos-related disease. Thank you for watching. This video was produced by Asbestos.Net, a leading resource on all aspects of asbestos and mesothelioma. Our priority is to inform victims about the devastating effects of asbestos exposure,
mesothelioma, asbestos cancer, asbestosis, and other asbestos-related diseases, and to advise them with a wealth of information. Individuals whose lives have been touched by mesothelioma have numerous questions and concerns. Their caregivers and family members also need accurate, reliable information. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos cancer and need more information, we invite you to visit and explore the thousands of pages of oncologist-reviewed material on Asbestos.net, to call our convenient toll-free number shown below and speak with a mesothelioma specialist, or to use the simple contact form found at Asbestos.net to request a free copy of our informative books, custom inserts, and DVD. Asbestos.net, information and help for patients and families.